Welcome guys to the Slowpoke Run. Today I've got a deck for you which energy denial is absolutely insane, but the attack cost has always been a little bit too costly to build a full deck around. But now that Turbo Patch is a card, we can actually get his attack going in one go, and it is an absolute great anti-meta pick. So let's have a look at Torkoal V, baby. Cheers! Right then, so here's our build around Torkoal V, a basic Pokemon with 210 HP with 2 attacks. Both are actually really good, in all honesty. Combustion Pillar is our first one for 3 energy. 90 plus 90 if you discard the top card of your deck and it happens to be a Fire Energy. So, I mean, you can sort of go blind with it if you want. I mean, we've played quite a few Fire Energies. But in combination with Oranguru for Primate Wisdom, I should say, you can actually like just put a Fire Energy to the top, you know, and then bosh, that's a 180 attack. And 380 180 is actually not too bad. Still one-shot Zacian and stuff like this. Annoyingly, it doesn't one-shot Zacian without the energy discard, but you know, is what it is. The main attack we're building around though is Steam Crush for 4 energy, so a bit costly. Like I said, Welder in combination with Turbo Patch, you can get this going in one turn, which is nuts. 120 damage, decent number. But the main reason we play it is because it discards 2 energies from your opponent's active Pokemon. That's strong. That is strong. So we can rip off all the energy off an Eternatus, for example. And a lot of Eternatus builds aren't playing energy acceleration at the minute. So you can just rip off 2. They're going to be like, you know, messing about. Bang, you hit them again. So it's actually like, really good. That's really strong against stuff like ADP. Don't rip off the energies is always nice. And a lot of decks right now are really weak to energy disruptions. So we play this Steam Crush to really slow down our opponents. We play other attackers though. We've got ourselves a Heatran, obviously, for that crazy good hot burn. Basic Pokemon 190 HP with the ability, once for your turn, if you move this Pokemon from the bench to the active, you can move any Fire Energy attached to your Pokemon to this. Seems quite interesting, but when you look at the GX attack, you know why you want to do this. Hot Burn GX for 1 fire, you do 50 times the amount of Fire Energy attached to this Pokemon. So endless damage cap. You know, we're playing Welders, we're playing Turbo Patches. We can flood the board of energies in a turn really quick and just to surprise our opponent. And I guess the one weakness of Torkoal V is that the attack aren't really doing the greatest amount of damage, but you could always just spring a Heatran to like take a KO out and know that your opponent's not expecting. But let's say you KO their first threat with Steam Crush, for example. The opponent's been setting up a bench threat. They set up the bench threat, KO your Torkoal. You can just flood the board of energy, go in for a hot burn, bang, and hopefully that wraps the game up. So hot burn is really good for swinging tempo back in your favor. We mentioned Oranguru again, just for that Primate Wisdom, a little bit of extra dig to find your Welders, but it's mostly there just so you can use that Combustion Pillar more reliably. And we got a forward of Volcanion, really nice. This is going to let you get the energy on your Torkoal without having to play Welder, so you can preserve your later Welders, you know, to get hot burn, to do more damage, and you know, to get more backup attackers. So I'm really liking the Volcanion, whilst also being a nice Decidueye out as well. So yeah, that's pretty much the list really. We're just playing a few hammers and some other consistency stuff as well. Let's have a look. Yeah, so we got the 4 Turbo Patch, like I said, 4 hammers, 3 Cape of Toughness, just so we can you know, tank a little bit more, because I mean Torkoal's actually pretty tanky easy with this on. And we got 3 of the Heat Energy as well, because Torkoal's like, if you're ripping off all their energy and they're just dinking and dacking, Cape of Toughness plus a couple Heat Energy make you quite a scary Pokemon indeed. But let's get some games, shall we? Oh my lord. Pause. Seems good. It's an interesting name for sure. I do like bears. So let's have a look. They won the coin flip. They're going first, which is fine. Like I said, we have Flare Star and we have Welder. So we actually kind of want to go second in almost all circumstances. We lead Torkoal though. We have a switch in hand. No quick ball, which is annoying. So you can just quick ball out Volcanion, switch, energy, both, and we're good to go with this hand. As it stands now, if we try a Marnie, we put a switch to the bottom, so we only have 3 in the deck to try and find. They just passed though, so a donk is on here if we can just find 2 energies, and we put a Giant Hearth in place. So we just have to find a Welder off this Dedenne. So we're going in and... oh, yikes. So that's not good. That's not good at all. We can, though. Is there anything else we can do? We've already attached, right? Yeah, so if we hit another Turbo Patch, if we hit one more Turbo Patch off the Dedenne, we could have actually had Donk there as well. But as it stands now, we're taking the long way around getting set up. But the Donk was on there. The Donk was on for sure. So you press back over to our opponent Her with the Dino in the active. And obviously for stage 2 deck, once that basic's down, they like Dark had access to so many powerful Dark type attackers where, you know, they could just spring out anything out of nowhere. Like they could get a KO with Umbreon Dark, right? Well, I mean, they could get one with that as well, but I'm thinking of Zora Ninja, I should say. They could just spring loads of energy into play and take a KO that way. So they put Iridium into play for us, which isn't really too bad for a world deck. I mean, obviously we prefer Giant Hearth, we get the extra energy, but yeah, we can work with Viridian. That's one of the downsides to playing Viridian, is that every other deck can use the Viridian also. There's a research from our opponents, so they took their time, so that must have been a pretty decent hand. Let's see if I have a look at it. No, I don't. So there's another Dino. I saw quite a few supporters in that hand. I saw like a Sonya. And there's a Grimmsnarl V. Okay, so Grimmsnarl V, scary Pokemon to be fair to VMAX. When you get 6 energy on, it's what, 270, right? Which does KO a Torkoal V with the Toughness Cape. But we do have Heat Energy to push us out of that range as well. The 1 energy attack from Grimmsnarl will also push us into range from a KO. They play the switch, get Dino out the active, and they Dedenne. They get rid of a VMAX, which is interesting. So they might just want to be going for the Spike Knuckle 200. And they put 2 energies back to hand. Really nice little attack, to be honest with you. That Grimmsnarl V3 for 200, put 2 dark energies back. In combination with Hydreigon, obviously, you can just keep reattaching them. So it could sort of KO proof yourself. Because if you get KO'd, you got the 2 energies back to play them anyway. So Grimmsnarl V is actually a decent attacker. I'm not sure if it's strong to be a build around like a Hydreigon Grimmsnarl V deck, because you don't ever one-shot anything, but you could play like a 1 VMAX for that reason. So maybe I'm talking myself into a Grimmsnarl VMAX deck profile here. So our opponent evolves Grimmsnarl, and it doesn't evolve into Zweilous, and switches back into a Dino. Doesn't want that Grimmsnarl to take some damage, which is fine. There's a Viridian, gets rid of a Hydreigon off the Viridian, which is nuts, but you know, it is what it is. So they probably have another Hydreigon in hand, because I don't think you'd ever. There's another Turbo Patch. We can actually see if we can Turbo Patch that energy on, and then we get 4 energies in play without actually playing a Welder or a Flare Star. That's actually what we do. That's nuts. Crushing Hammer, 3 for 3 on coin flip this game. We take a Marnie. I had a feeling that they have a good hand. If you're going to get rid of a Hydreigon and a VMAX, you must have a good hand, right? So we'll Marnie that away, which seems fine. And now they've only got, well, either 2 or 3 Hydreigons in deck, because they discarded 1. And they got rid of a VMAX. So they have got rid of a few decent resources. I think their first hand, which they researched away, had a few supporters in as well. So they've got rid of some key resources, which is why I chose the Marnie there, for sure. Played a quick ball a little bit preemptively there. I'm not actually sure what I was looking for. I might be looking for the Oranguru, thinking about it. I wasn't really looking. Welder. So this is kind of scary though. We haven't actually got any attackers. So Grimmsnarl VMAX could one-shot us here. Yeah, because the Grimmsnarl VMAX could one-shot us. So we'd be in a whole world of trouble. But we do have access to Heatran. So I shouldn't have played that quick ball there, because whatever they do now, we could have just got a Heatran out and blown them up, hopefully. I think we would have had enough energies in play 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. We would have had an Viridian, so yeah, we actually would have had enough to do 350 and one-shot of VMAX. So this is the good thing about doing these things in post, is that I can actually see these things now. Here's a researcher. What are they getting rid of there? Rare Candy, another Dedenne, 2 Pokecoms. Okay, so that's a decent amount of resources. But there's an Evo Incense, so they are going to get the Hydreigon back. There we go. And this is kind of scary, because they can just fling energies now. That Grimmsnarl VMAX could have V-evolved and really put some pressure on us. But and if that happens, we are in a spot of bother. But no, there's just a bite though for 40. Okay, so Fire Crystal, we're having in a discard pile. So let's have a look what we're going to do here. I think we want to welder these 2 energies in play onto Eldegoss, because it actually can use float up. We get a quick ball off the welder, which is really cool. So now we can actually do that Heatran play. Let's see if that's actually what I go for here. We probably get rid of Fire Crystal. That seems okay. Yeah, because we want to engine discard pile anyway. So we'll get Heatran. Make sure we do the right amount of energies, because I'm awful with this. So we got 5, 10, 15, 20. We need 5. Yikes, man. These HP on these V and VMAX Pokemon are insane. But, so yeah, I think we need 5, right? That's what I'm doing now. Let's have a look. Yeah, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Yeah, we need 5. So we can leave one on the Torkoal. And we take a KO here. We'll place the stadium as well, and this is a lot of pressure now. This is exactly what the Heatran is really good for. Just quickly getting rid of a big threat that you can't really, because I don't want that thing to VMAX, because then it's a whole more world of trouble to KO, right? And it can throw a lot of damage back at our way as well. So put a lot of pressure on our opponent here. But like I said, Dark can play a whole host of attacks because they have a quick ball. For another Grimmsnarl. Grimmsnarl does do 200, and Heatran only has 190. So a Grimmsnarl would attack because they have a switch. Oh boy. There's a research. So they have to find 3 energies off the research. I don't know how many they've played. I don't think they actually played that many, to be fair. So I think finding 3 isn't too much of an ask for our opponent here. If they do get a KO though, we have Giant Hearth in play. We can just start attacking with a Torkoal and rip the energies back off. So it's not like it's the complete end of the world. And we are 3 prizes up as well. So we'll be 1 prize up if they take the KO here. Let's see if they have a 3rd. You have to imagine. Yeah, there's a 3rd. That's a real good response turn from our opponent. Spiky Knuckle. Give him a clap there. That's a good response turn for sure. And you see, now they take the 2 energy back. So we can't even discard them with our Torkoal, which is kind of scary. Another welder off the top, which I mean, I guess it's not too bad. We probably got quick wall away Volcanion. I haven't much need for that for Oranguru, I'd like to say, or another Torkoal. If the Grimmsnarl VMAXes, then we are in trouble. So maybe another Torkoal here. I mean, they have got rid of 1. I mean, Grimmsnarl VMAX isn't really the greatest of attackers, so they might only play the 1. But oh, that's what we want to play 1 welder. Oh yeah, have to discard. Yeah, okay, that's cool. And we can preserve the other one before the Dedenne in though, which is quite nice. Yes, we can attach them up here. We still have access to Heat Energy as well. Boss's orders and a switch. Yeah, we don't really want to get rid of a boss's orders, so we can preserve that one. I should say. I don't know what I'm saying about preserving a welder. There's a Heat Energy, which I'm not sure if it pushes us out of KO range on the VMAX. It does mean they'll definitely have to have 6 energy though instead of 5. I mean, they've got a big hand, but they've also seen a lot of cards as well. So hopefully someone hit the bin. I mean, dumping 5 energy, and we discarding 1 as well. So double Crushing Hammer. Don't need to play. Silly me. Excuse me. So that was me being a silly. Now we could go for the Combustion Pillar, but we have no need to do that really. I think taking a reliable 120 is better. And we don't really want to discard cards either. We haven't got a lot of cards left in deck now though. We are getting towards the later end of the game. So take a Steam Crush into our opponent. So there's another Grimmsnarl V. There's a replacement stadium for the Viridian. We have got Boss's Orders in hand, which is nice. So if this Grimmsnarl V doesn't VMAX, we can hopefully bring it back into the active if they try and swap attackers. Although they have seen 4 switch now though, so hopefully it's staying in the active. Viridian's out on energy, gets rid of a Guzzlord, which is interesting. That could have been Guzzlord could have been interesting. There's the Viridian to the active. There's a second energy. Do they have the 3rd, or are they going to pay retreat? No, they have the 3rd. Oh, they attached the 3rd to the bench. There's a 4th. And a Marnie. Oh, so they might be trying to pay retreat into the next one. So they had a whole load of energy in their hand. Yikes, that's scary. So they have the 3rd energy though. They have Viridian already. And we have discarded a few now as well. So let's see what they do. If they haven't got energy, what's their best play? Like retreat into Crobat? Because there's a VMAX. Okay. That's scary. That's an energy retrieve. Oh boy, this is scary. Ooh, there's a dark score. This is actually like a scary time, man. Grimsnar VMAX doesn't mess about. Here's a 4. He needs 1 more, right? No, 2 more to take a KO. There's a G-Max drill for 240. Wow, okay. That's scary. So we have 10 HP left, right? And that's where that Heat Energy came in clutch, because if we didn't have that, we'd be dead. So, we attach, we can probably like Oranguru one. Do we want a Viridian now? I don't think we do, no. So we can Fire Wisdom, put 1 research to the top to preserve it. We get a stamp. Unfortunately, there's no reason to play that. Then we got a 3-card hand, and they got 4 prizes. So, couple turbo patches. Now this is clutch. We haven't got a lot of energies in deck, so if we can get another attacker going, we actually have a switch as well, which is kind of cool. We get another turbo patch. Wow, so we're hitting all the heads this game. We actually have a switch as well. Do we use a switch? Or do we, now that we've got rid of stamp, trying to think, switch. Although we can't really put 1 to the top with Primate Wisdom. Plus, we've only got 3 prizes left as well. I think we have a boss's orders left. So, yeah, no, we definitely do. We have it in our hand, and then they mine it to the bottom. So, we've definitely got boss orders. So now we're boss's orders away from winning this game. As it stands, though, they take a KO this turn. We have to go into our next Torkoal V. They go down to 2 then, obviously, which is kind of scary. So, yeah. Let's see what they've got. Their Pokemon communication fail, I think. And a pass. Wow. So they... Wow, yeah. So they just ran out of energy then. They couldn't even switch. They couldn't retreat. They couldn't do anything. So there's Torkoal taking out the big, scary VMAX, baby. Let's look at the list. Right then, so here's the list. Got 3 of the Torkoals. Now, I said you could play a Crime Mount in here as well. I'm not against that. 1 of the Heatran for that backup attacking slot. 4 Volcanions so we can lead it and not, keep our cripples for Eldegoss, Dedenne, Oranguru, all that stuff. 1 Oranguru, obviously. 4 Crushing Hammer, 1 Crystal, 4 Quick Ball, 1 Stamp, 4 Switch, 4 Turbo Patch. That all seems, pretty locked in. I wouldn't really want to mess about with that. 3 Giant Hearth. Now, you could argue 2, 3 could be a bit of a crutch, but when I'm playing Welder, I mean, first of all, I'm all for finding Welder anyway, and we're not playing Pokegears as well in this list, because we're not like 100% reliant on Welder, so I think having the 3rd half just so we can guarantee the energies more times than not is pretty nice. We play 3 bosses, 1 Marnie, 2 research for Welder. Interesting supporter lineup. I think it's quite nice having the Marnie to act as a little bit of disruption. If we can rip off 2 energies and give him a 4-card hand, seems quite strong. So you could argue a 2nd Marnie in here, in all honesty. I'm not really against that. 4 Welder, obviously. 3 Cape of Toughness, 3 Heat Energy, and 11 basic fire. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you think of Torkoal. I actually think it's low-key. My win rate online with this is really good. Actually, this could be a really good little pick. Giving up 2 prizes in this meta is really nice. Taking off 2 energies, sometimes 3 energies in a turn, is also really nice. And having Heatran Hot Burn to clean up is very good. If you made it this far, guys, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me, okay? It's free. Help the channel out. Hit that like button as well. All that good stuff. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.